so you know. It looks like it's happening, but it's not. But I don't do illusions. I'm what you call a sleight of hand guy. Now this right here, the astute viewer will notice that it is technically the same trick that you just saw before, only on a smaller scale, because it's sleight of hand. Watch close. I always keep a spare inside of the hat right here. That only works. That only works because this hat right here is deeper on the inside than it is on the outside. It's a lot deeper on the Are you falling for that? That's great. If you like that, you're going to enjoy the rest of the show, I promise you. Now, before we get really started, we're just testing out the sense of humor everyone here has. I always got to gauge myself. This is my first time performing in Wyoming. We're gonna fight. Now, but I gotta get warmed up. A lot of people don't realize this, but sleight of hand is a physical exertion, so it's important to be stretched.
That's gonna cause your
Right. You there, lad? Would you mind coming here and taking this ring off the wand? What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew, a round of applause for Andrew! Andrew, take the ring. Make sure it's a regular ring. Try pulling it over your head and try pulling it apart. Give it a good strong pull. Is it coming apart?
No.
Now, look at it real close, Andrew. Make sure it hadn't got no cuts in it, no hinges, no wires or trapdoors, no magnets, no partridge, not even a pear tree. Is it a regular ring? Is it a real metal band? Rock on. Toss it here, Andrew. Thank you. That was a really good toss, by the way. You can have a seat now. Now what I do with this ring, like I said, it's a warm-up for my fingers. A lot of people don't realize this, but sleight of hand's a physical exertion and you've got to be stretched. This right here, I want you to think of it as a yoga position for magicians. This ring, can you see the ring right here? It's gonna go from this finger to this finger without going near the fingertips. We're gonna go across the knuckles. You see it?
I can see it.
Watch the ring. Don't worry, the first time I saw someone do that, I was stunned to silence too. I didn't know what to say either. I'll do it again, Watch the ring. Can you see the ring? Watch the ring very closely. Watch it close. That's a witch! Some people ask, how does he do it? Other people ask, why does he do it? Watch close, you'll see it one last time. Can you all see the ring right here?
Yeah.
Watch close, you see it's right, it should be shining. The sun is very bright. Don't lie to me, I know you can see that thing right there. Watch close. And keep in mind that right there, that is just the warm-up. Thank you very much. That is the appropriate response after all. Watch close. That's one of those things where you don't realize how hard it is until you go home and you try doing it for yourself. Now, you there, lassie. Have you ever seen a magician plucking coins out of thin air before? Good. Because I can't do that trick anyway. And it's not out of a lack of ability neither. I can do it, I was just told not to. It was my first day performing magic here in America when an older magician, he walks right up to me, he says, Connor! That's me, by the way. Connor. He says, Connor, don't go plucking coins out of thin air. If you do that, people will start to think that you can make money appear. Oh. You do not want that happening. It's very hard to get paid if people think you can make your own, you see. So instead, I don't do that. What I do instead is called a transposition. Each one of these 3 coins, can you see all 3 coins here? Each one of them is going to jump from one hand to the other hand, one at a time, visibly. You're going to see them go from this hand to this one here. Now, when people see me do that, they do try and figure out how it's done. Some people think I might have an extra coin in one of my hands. Other people think I might be throwing the coins from one hand to the other hand so fast that you just can't see it. But let's think about this. In order to throw a coin faster than the eye can see, well, your hand would have to move, wouldn't it? And you'll notice that my hand does not move like this when it goes from here to here. Are you watching? Thank you. I thought it was impressive too, but who are we among so many people? Now, one last time, I think it's more impressive when you know how it's done. So would you like to see it go from this hand here to that hand visibly? In slow motion. You want to see it in slow motion? Yeah. If you want to see it go in slow motion, let me hear you say yeah.
Yeah!
You asked for it. From here to here, slow motion. You watching?
Sorcery.
The witch.
I am very impressed.
The only reason you could see that was because I was moving slow. If I had been moving at full speed, you wouldn't have been able to see it. So I'll do it one last time from here to here in full speed. You watch it? But do you remember? Thank you. I like that one too. But do you remember when I told you at the beginning that I cannot pluck coins out of thin air? I can't stand that. I was told not to, you see. And I just keep thinking about this. Anything in there? I just keep thinking. Yeah, keep thinking about this. If I'm gonna dress like a leprechaun and act like a leprechaun and walk and talk like a leprechaun, well, then I might as well do the trick that you would expect a leprechaun to do. Let's just be honest with ourselves. If you came to a Renaissance festival, you would expect to see a magician just reaching out and plucking coins out of the air. I mean, it's not actually happening. It looks like it's happening, but it's not. It's not. It looks like it's happening, but it's not. And I just keep thinking about this. It looks like I can pluck money out of the air, but I can't. But it's just something you would expect to see someone dressed like this do in a place like this. But if you think about this, I can't actually do it. You want to know how you know I can't actually do it? It's because if you look inside the cup, it's the same 3 coins that we started out with. Because no one, and I mean this, no one can actually make money appear. You gotta work for it. You gotta earn it. But if I could actually make money appear, I wouldn't have come into work today. It's a long day outside, I'd have stayed home. But no, see, what actually happens is quite confusing. You put the coins inside the cup, and whenever you want to make it look like one comes out of thin air, you just pop it through the bottom, and then pretend to pluck it out of thin air. That's what you do. And the only reason I explain that to you is so that you know that I'm not actually making them appear. But I can't do that. You want to know what I can do? Is I can make that coin fall upwards. You want to see that? Watch close. Now, people see that all the time. They say, "Oh, I know what you did there. That must be a magnetic ring on your finger, eh?" And a magnetic ring wouldn't be able to do any of these things right here, neither. Would it? And if I was to do it again, we know it's not a magnet without the ring on my thumb, because it's not a magnet. You want to know what it is? It is 10 years of practice for 2 seconds of entertainment. Watch close! If you want to learn how to do, thank you. If you want to learn how to do that trick, you can look it up. It's called inflation. The value of the coin's going up and down. Sometimes the coin doesn't go up in value. Sometimes it changes in size entirely. And that becomes a lot less impressive when you realize that this coin right here is made out of rubber. You see it? If it were made out of metal, it would be a lot harder to do the trick if it were made out of metal. You see? I mean, the coin would be harder and the trick would be harder to do. Did I already tell you my deja vu joke? Watch close, because that's not magic. You see, magic is real, but that right there was just a trick. It's over here. Ladies and gentlemen, are you having a good time? Now, once again, folks, my name is Connor O'Carrick, the world's tallest leprechaun, and I'd like to take 1 second before I do the grand finale to say a few things, and that is thank you for each and every one of you coming to see my show. It is 1 o'clock. The sun is shining right now at this exact moment. Kids and grown-ups are watching something together. Outside! Thank you for letting me be a part of that with you. It means a lot to me, because you know what the best part about it is it means that my mother was wrong. We can do this. Now, I'm about to do the grand finale. It's the last trick I do. It's the best trick I do. If you want to see the grand finale, let me hear you say yeah! Yeah! We'll do it. But first, I have to do the commercial. Now, this is my job, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I make a living. It's how I pay the rent. Kids, pay very close attention. If you don't do well in college, you might wind up. And at the end of the show, after this rope trick is done, I will be putting out my hat and my cup for tips and donations. Now, I want to make something extremely clear. Not a single one of you in this audience is obligated to give me a dime. I don't expect it. I don't feel as though I deserve it. I'm just letting you know that that is an opportunity for you to try and make me as happy as I have tried to make you. It's quite simple. I drove 36 hours to be here. And in about 6 months, someone's going to give me a phone call asking me if I want to make that drive again. And I have to ask myself, if you guys want me to drive up here again, the easiest way for you to let me know is to put money in the hat. I'm just saying, it really drives it home for me. You know, you're looking there, if there's only $5 after this 30-minute show, I go, well, I might not have to make that drive next year. It's a beautiful drive. I got to go through Yellowstone. It's awesome. However, if everyone here gives me what they think the show is worth, that means if you think it's worth a 20, throw in a 20. If you think it's worth a 5 or a 10, throw in a 5 or a 10. If you think it's worth $1, throw in a 5 or a 10 anyway. I'm just kidding. Once again, I want to reiterate this. I'm just joking around. I'm letting you know I do accept tips, but no one here is obligated to do so. And if you don't have the tip, if you don't want to tip, that's fine. Stay and watch the last 5 minutes anyway. I honestly don't care. I'm just letting you know that it makes me feel really special when people tip me. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's the end of the commercial. Now, on the count of 3, everyone shout, "Get on with it!" 1.
Get on with it!
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Get on with it!
I will. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this rope right here does not exist.
Yes, it does, because it wouldn't be here if it didn't
Let me
exist.
finish. See, it's not real, but it has a story. You see, the dwarves of Svartalfheim, they made this rope, and they named it Gleipnir. Everyone says, ooh!
Ooh!
Thank you for doing that. It's so much more fun when the audience participates. Everyone says, ah! Gleipnir means the rope which cannot be. It was made with the purpose of binding a great and ferocious wolf from Norse mythology. His name was Fenris, or Fenrir. It really depends on which translation you read, but we're not going to get bogged down in the details right this exact second. This wolf was capable of breaking out of any chain that was set around his neck, and he was going to bring about the end of all times, the day of Ragnarok. We did not want that happening. So the gods kept tying him up in chains. He keeps breaking out of them. The dwarves solved the problem by making a rope that does not exist. Because how can you break it if it isn't real? That's exactly right. It makes a lot more sense when you just don't think about it, right? Now, it's made out of 6 impossible ingredients: the roots of a mountain, and the breath of a fish, the spit of a bird, and the sinews of a bear, the beard of a woman, and the thunderous sound of a cat's footstep. Now, it looks like it's possible, and it seems like it's possible, but it's not. It looks possible and seems possible, but it's not possible. It's a not pun, sir. I wrote that myself. You see, my mother, she told me, she said, Connor, if you can make only one person laugh a day, then you're not that funny. This was a not pun. It's not very funny, but what it does is it leaves us with 2 pieces of rope. I now have a short piece of rope and a long piece of rope. Or a long piece of rope and a short piece of rope, but neither of them exist. They're both figments of your imagination, but they're not equal. See, this rope is more non-existent than this one, because there's more of it. This one is less, no, never mind. However, they're both figments of your imagination, and you can stretch out your imagination, right? You've heard the phrase, a stretch of the imagination. If you can stretch out your imagination, I can then also stretch out the ropes. Save it up. I have a very weak finish, so just save it. Because no one really claps at that, really. Like, I say that joke because no one's ever going to clap at that exact moment because people are always trying to wrap their heads around this. And that's fair. You know, at the beginning of this trick, I only had one piece of rope. And it's very hard to do any of that with only one piece of rope. So it should be confusing, right? But it will become a lot less confusing if you just accept what I told you about the rope at the beginning. Does anyone here remember what I said was special about this rope?
It doesn't exist.
That's exactly right. 12 points to Gryffindor.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
But people don't believe that. Because you can tell people exactly how a magic trick is done and they won't believe you. They'll say, Connor. That's me, by the way, Connor. They say, Connor, how do you expect me to believe that that rope isn't real when I can say it? I mean, that's not fair. You can't do that to me. You don't think I'm stupid, do you? What is it? And those are all very fair questions, and the only reason anyone ever says them is because they don't know how to tell the difference between a real rope and an imaginary one. Because they don't teach this in school no more. See, real ropes always have 2 ends and 1 middle. If it were a real rope, there would be 2 ends right here, 1 middle right here. This rope, on the other hand, has not got any ends. These are the ends right here. This is what we call an endless rope. What was your name, lad, in the yellow?
Rogan?
What was that?
Rogan.
Rogan! That's my mom's name. Messing with you. Rogan, we're going to put these ends back onto the rope, but I need you to tell me where. As I go along the rope like this, I just want you to say stop anywhere you want to, and wherever you say stop, that is exactly where we'll put the ends back on, all right? Anywhere you want to, Rogan, just say stop anywhere you want to.
Stop.
Right there. Thank you for not hesitating. Some people hesitate as if this is a question of any consequence whatsoever. Now, Brogan, right where you said to say stop, that right there is where the ends go back on. Thank you very much for coming and watching my show. My name is Connor. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on TikTok. My name is Lepra Connor. You gotta spell it the Irish way. You just gotta spell it the Irish way and put N-O-R at the end. Leprechaun and then N-O-R. And you can also find me on Facebook. It's Connor O'Carrick. And don't look at the sign. It's spelled with 2 O's, Connor, not N-E-R. However, folks, if you guys enjoyed the show, this is my hat, that is my cup. Don't be afraid to let me know you enjoyed the show. And if you did not enjoy the show, then tip anyway. There is no sense in both of us being disappointed. God bless you all. I hope you enjoyed it.